another episode of Southern Section this week. I'm Claudette Montana.
And I'm Connor Morissette. We're here at St. John Bosco High School, where a little later on we'll hear from head football coach Jason Negro and safety Peyton Woodyard ahead of the Braves Division I semifinal game against Mission Viejo on Friday. Before that, we have football highlights from last week. Los Alamitos took down Long Beach Poly in the Division I quarterfinals, 52-42. That was a great game. We also have boys water polo highlights. Newport Harbor won another CIF title, 10-9 over J. Sarah in an instant classic. I can't wait for everyone to see those clips as well.
Jam-packed show. Can't wait to get to it. But first, as always, here are the top 5 high school football plays of the week, courtesy of our friends over at Bally Sports.
They've been dominant up front, and still guys are getting loose. Back them up to 1st and 15. I'll give you the notables here. Henderson back in. Big hole opens up. Try and stop that train. You won't. He skips right by for a touchdown. And that was obviously great blocking at the line of scrimmage, but you see his receivers down the field. I mean, once he got past the line of scrimmage. I was going to say Kevin Federline. It's terrible when you have a youngster and a young girl in college, huh? Curry throwing long for the end zone. And it is caught. Touchdown. Lance Bugs. Oh, on 3rd and 10. And they needed that badly. And again, I love a quarterback that can buy time and extend a play. Just settle.
On formation against Delgado, he'll get it off this time. And it's going to be returned. Off the right side. He's got the edge. Not sure you're going to get him. And that's Tate Fire. The young fella on the punt return for touchdown. And Centennial leads.
Slant caught. Touchdown, Panthers.
Give him a pass run option. It's going to be a reverse. A throw to Samanza. It's caught for the touchdown. Reverse pass. Mikey Matthews back to the quarterback. And Caden Samanza, we're tied at 20.
High school sports are one of the things that make living in California so great.
But sometimes the behavior in the stands can overshadow our achievements on the field.
I love it when my parents show up for me.
But being booed for missing a play could be crushing.
And remember that refs are people too.
They're trying their best to call a fair and correct game.
Hey, and enough with all the swearing.
No one should feel insulted or ashamed
because of their race, ethnicity, or gender.
We should be able to hold our heads high after the match, win or lose.
Last week was the quarterfinal round of the playoffs. Los Alamitos took down Long Beach Poly. Final score 52-42. We have some highlights for you. Let's roll the tape.
It's not Sunday, it's not Saturday after the Coliseum. And if you think it is, it'll be a very short night for you. If you think you're the dude, stand up over somebody, you're going to be watching the game from there. It's that plain and simple. We all have a big day. Beautiful.
In an instant championship classic, Newport Harbor beat Cif-Ss 10-9 to claim the Open Division Boys Water Polo Championship from Irvine High School a week ago. We have the full highlights from that epic match. Let's roll the tape.
Looking up over the weak side. Back on top. Represent. Yes. Back to Hamilton. At the door. Johnson. It's here. Outside. Robinson. It's here. Runs down the left post. Up over on the 4-5 side. Ball rotates up and top. Finds the good. And the shot. And the goal to looking past that is Bosco. Look at this guy, title. Over the Bosco. Over the weak side. Bosco.
Here with Ben Lathy, back-to-back CIF champ for Newport Harbor. First question, how you feeling? An incredible 10-9 win over Cif-Ss. What a game.
Yeah, I'm feeling super excited. A little nervous about the end with their two comeback goals, but we were able to hold it off and end up winning, which is obviously an amazing feeling.
Yeah, so you're up 10-7. They score the 2 quick goals to get it to 10-9. You had a key stop, and then 20 seconds left. Coach puts the ball in your hands. You had to fight off a bunch of Cif-Ss defenders. How much pressure were you under in that moment?
We always talk about staying calm and just living in the moment and playing in the moment. I think we did a really good job of that this game. With their 2 goals, we were able to stay calm and come up with a stop when we needed it.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams who would be up 10-7 and give up those 2 might fold. You guys have been there, done that.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about the camaraderie and what it took to not give in at the end.
Yeah, totally. I've played with some of these guys for 10, 11 years, so I think that's a huge component to our program and to our team. We grow up with each other. We live in the same neighborhoods, and it's just we have that connection with each other, and everyone has that connection with each other.
Last question for you. You're at the top of the mountain right now. What's been your favorite memory from this season?
Winning CIF. I think that's the only right answer. I think it's just an amazing feeling, and it's great to do it with this team.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
All right. right, joining me now is St. John Bosco safety Peyton Woodyard, and you guys are coming off of a big win against Orange Lutheran. How did it feel to get that one, knowing that you're advancing in the playoffs?
It feels great, just being able to play as a team and come together and get that win. We got a big game this week against Mission Viejo, a solid team that got good players all around, and I'm just excited to go compete and play as a team once again and just come together and hopefully make a championship run.
Well, speaking of Mission Viejo, you're going up against an offense that's a high-powered offense. What's the key to slowing them down?
I think just our defense is, as far as defense goes, just getting the pass rush there, and our DBs, the back end, doing our job. Just all collective effort. And as far as offense, I can't speak on much because I'm a defensive guy. But yeah, I think team effort and coming together is what we really need at this time of the year. We got the athletes and we got the talent, so I think just playing as a team is what, like I said, is just what really matters.
Well, you mentioned talent, and one thing that's so unique about St. John Bosco is there is so much talent on this roster. What's it like to play with some of the best football players in the country?
It's great. Just like today at practice, just going against some of the best receivers, Jaleel McClain, DeAndre Moore, just to name a couple. You're going against those guys every day at practice, and they're getting you better, and you're getting them better.
Last season, you guys made it to the semifinals, fell short of a championship. How hungry has this team been to make it all the way this season?
We're hungry. We're really hungry, especially for this game. We have a little bit of a pass with Mission Viejo from this past summer in 7-on-7, so we're excited to get after it and give them a good fight. Oh, yeah, it'll be fun.
No doubt. You guys are 10-1 on the season. Your only loss is to Mater Dei High School, and there's a chance that you guys could face each other in the championship this season if both of you make it all the way. What would it mean to you to get a rematch?
It would mean the world, because that's all we need is an opportunity, and it's always a close game when we play those guys, and I think it's hard to beat a good team twice, and I'll just be happy if we get the opportunity to play them again.
Time now for Coach's Corner here at St. John Bosco. I'm with head coach Jason Negro. Coach, Mission Viejo week in the semifinals. What's the week of practice been like so far?
It's a standard week for us. I mean, there's never been really no disruptions to our school schedule, which really helps. So the kids get into a routine. Monday through Thursday is our normal practice schedule, and then get ready to go on Friday. And for us, we're really excited to have an opportunity to play a new opponent. Went through the league season, and then we had to open up with a league opponent in the first round of the playoffs. So our kids are excited about playing somebody new in a new environment in a different location. So that should be pretty it's going to fire us up, and hopefully we'll go down there and play well.
You mentioned last week a big win over Orange Lutheran. Pierce with a great game. How important is it for him to be getting going really into this final stretch here?
Well, I think you want your quarterback to be playing his best football come playoff time, and certainly the way he was able to, I think he threw for over 300 yards and 5 touchdowns and ran for another. He was pretty explosive, and that's what we're going to need to have out of him in order to win this week, and if we're fortunate enough to win this week, to win in the weeks following that. So you want your guys to peak at the right time, and I think offensively we started to really see the explosion and how dominant we can be if we just execute and do the things that we're capable of doing.
Just one slip up this year against Mater Dei. What did your group learn in that game that you can use the rest of the way?
Well, the one thing that was great was a tight ball game. It's a defensive game. With a minute left, it's a 10-7 ball game, and we're right there in it. And then trying to punch the ball out at the end, they got one. But we didn't have some players that hurt us a little bit. And at least I think it gets you a little bit more mentally focused for the run. For weeks after that. And I think our kids kind of went back and they committed themselves a little bit more in the 3 phases that we really focus on, which is in the meeting rooms, in the weight room, and on the field. And as long as they continue to do that, sometimes a loss may not necessarily be a bad thing for you, or a close win kind of shocks the system a little bit and allows you to kind of get better. And I think if you look at Mission Viejo, that's the same thing. They've been playing really good football since the loss to Poly. They put it behind them, and now obviously they're in Division I semifinals. So it's not always a bad thing. You certainly want to go undefeated, but you need that shock at some point during the system, during the season, to get your system back recalibrated to the way that you want to.
Yeah. As a follow-up to that, what does this group need to do to win 2 more and get a CIF championship?
we got to, I mean, it's the same cliche, you know, coach talk. You got to protect the football. You got to be able to be consistent in the red zone. I think that's the biggest thing. When you get down there, you can't kick field goals. You got to be able to score touchdowns. And on the vice versa, when you're playing defense, you got to be able to force kicks, get some turnovers, not allow them to score touchdowns. Got to eliminate the big explosive plays, which is, knock on wood, we've been able to do that pretty much this year. And you got to stay hungry. You know, it's high school football. Anything can happen. You know, the team that usually has the least amount of mistakes, both mentally and physically, are the teams that usually win this late in the season. And we've had a very fortunate opportunity to play in a lot of these big games. Our program over the years has done a really good job of performing at a high level. And, you know, it's just great for us to be in the conversation again this year, and being in the semifinals for the 10th straight year is something that's really special to me. This is a very difficult, challenging division. And, you know, we just got to continue to maintain our focus on ourselves. And we got to not worry about the opponent, worry about what we can do and the things that we can control here at Bosco, and go out there and play as hard as we can. And that's all you can ask. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that through the years, and I expect to do it even more this week.
We'll get you out of here with 2 fun questions to end this interview. Who is the best player you've coached here at Bosco, and who is the best player you've coached against? If you need a second or two, I'm happy to fill some time.
Well, you know, we've had so many really talented players here. It's almost like asking me, I have 2 kids, you know, which one is my favorite daughter? Riley or Reese? I'm not going to answer that. But, you know, gosh, there's been so many great guys through the years. I think one of the guys that I've really, you know, it comes to mind immediately is Jaleel Wadood. You know, he was here at the early years and helped us win a CIF and state title, and ended up winning that mythical title in 2013 nationally. He was really good. I mean, shoot, we had Josh Rosen and DJ and Bo Collins and so many, White Davis. I mean, there's so many I can just rattle off, and nobody get upset. I love you all. But yeah, that's really tough. And then on the flip side, one of the most challenging guys, I think, is Amon-Ra St. Brown. That dude was just at the next level. You know, he was a very tough football player. You know, Bryce Young is another one. My mind always goes to the modern day guys. Brew McCoy was really, really good. And I also have to think that Elijah Brown, what he's doing right now, has been pretty special. So, but Amon-Ra, that dude was just next level, I think, in terms of being able to take over a ball game and really hurt you. So maybe him.
Great. Coach, thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Connor.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Southern Section This Week. Claudette, I just finished up asking Coach Negro who the best player he's ever had was. Who's the best player that you've ever covered in your time covering football?
Definitely wide receiver Drake London. He now plays for the Atlanta Falcons. When he was at USC, I had the opportunity to cover him. He's an absolute beast. He's like 6'5", 220 pounds, I think, and is just a valuable player for any offense, really. So he was a very, very fun player to cover. What about you?
Before I answer, that is a perfect response for this show because Drake London played at Moore Park High School, a member of the Southern Section. Mm-hmm. For me, I got to go with Bryce Young. We heard Coach Negro talk about him a little bit. What he was able to do at Mater Dei in the 2 years I covered him at that school was just incredible. Went on to win the Heisman. I love watching Bryce. He was so good. So I'll go with him.
Well, there's a lot of good football being played this weekend. Yeah. A lot of great football players that have come through this program as well. Thanks so much to all of you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.